What's up? It's Chris from StonefoxMedia. And I'm going to tell you about lies, deceit for Microsoft's Gamescom press conference. But before I get to that, I'm actually going to come into their defense in regards to a statement that Phil Spencer made regarding Sony acquiring third-party support. So, people believe that Phil Spencer was throwing shade at Sony by saying that they were basically gobbling up third-party games. But he did clarify that he was not taking shots at Sony. He was just talking about how they acquired, third-party games. A lot of people were upset when they thought Phil Spencer said something negative about Sony buying a number of third-party exclusives for the PlayStation 4. Then Phil Spencer was called out on Twitter for basically being a hypocrite. That prompted Phil Spencer to make a reply on Twitter saying that no fingers were pointed. I was asked a question in which I clarified. Then I answered buying third-party deals is just a choice. So a lot of people thought he was throwing shade at him, saying they're just buying third-party exclusives and now focus on their first-party exclusives. Let me tell you guys what actually was said during this GameSpot interview. So Phil McCracken, good old Phil, was asked a question about Microsoft doubling down on first-party titles and Sony securing a lot of third-party titles, and was that in direct correlation between their market share since Sony has a larger amount. And he asked them, what are they going to do since Sony is gobbling up so many third-party deals? And he said, so they don't gobble deals up, they buy them. It has nothing to do with market share, it has nothing to do with any of that. And, of course, they had to reformat the question. They said, I'll go back to the question and rephrase. Sony is getting a lot of exclusive deals with third-party studios. Well, it's buying them. See, that's what people thought it was like negative. But then he clarified it in the next part. He said, so we're making a conscious decision to focus on our first-party games. It doesn't make it harder or easier. It's just a decision. He also went on to congratulate Sony by saying that they have great first-party franchises. He said he's a big fan of Uncharted. He thought it looked great at E3, and he really admired the team at Naughty Dog, and all this other good stuff. So he did say, they're gobbling deals up, they're buying them. But he also said they got their first-party exclusives too. So this was not shade. This was not, ooh, he just dissed you, man. What you gonna do? Come on, people. Don't make something out of nothing. Now we come to the part where the lies and deceit have taken place. So the Microsoft Gamescom press conference was actually really good. Very well structured. It was all right. It was all right. And they announced some really cool things, and people going, ooh, check all that stuff. Here is where the lies and deceit come into play. Crackdown 3's impressive Destructible environments will only be for multiplayer. So during the whole entire Gamescom press conference, they announced that Crackdown 3 will feature 100% Destructible city. However, the city can only be destroyed in multiplayer mode. Lies and deceit. So, in a capture quotes from creative director Dave Jones, in an interview with IGN, he explained what limitations were on the destruction in Crackdown 3. He said, yes, destruction is exclusive to multiplayer mode. You have to be online for multiplayer, and at that point, we could connect to the cloud and really expand the experience. Another quote was actually captured again from Mr. Jones saying, no, you cannot destroy the buildings in single player. And in some respects, that goes against the grain of what Crackdown is. You're meant to be saving the cities, so we really want to create a new multiplayer experience that bent that. You see, the trailer that they announced made it seem like you can just destroy whatever you want. That's not the case. See, you can do that in multiplayer where, the map is severely shrunken, and then you can destroy it. You see? Yes, it makes sense that they're heroes and they're trying to save everything, but that's not what they showed in the wonderful press conference. Lies and deceit. Now I'll bring you to another lie and deceit. A lot of people were excited about the whole entire Microsoft DVR feature. Here's the catch. Microsoft's Xbox One DVR feature won't work without an external hard drive. And it always gets better. It always gets better. So they announced the whole entire external hard drive. People were like, yes, I can record shows, take them on the go, do all these other cool things with it. Here's where everything comes into play. The DVR will not be able to record television programming unless users hook it up to an external hard drive. So at Gamescom, they had a conversation with Richard Irving that laid out how the DVR will work if you actually want to record your favorite shows using a console. He said, you will need an external hard drive specifically for DVR because we want to keep storage paths optimized between playing games and watching TV. We don't want them to interact with each other. So now see, this is what they're saying. They don't want you to record your games and record your shows and have everything be all jacked up. So you got to buy external hard drive. I'm sure those are very, very cheap. I mean, most of them you can get from like 50 to 100, 150 bucks, depending on how big you actually want this thing to be. But see, they didn't say that at the press conference. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's not that bad. That's not that bad. Well, you also got to buy something else too. Lies and deceit. Another tool that users will need to purchase if they want to get the most out of their DVR will be a digital TV tuner. This particular device is already available across North America and Europe, but you're going to need that too if you want to have a great experience. Lies and deceit. They just didn't tell you. See, sometimes they lied, by saying that you can destroy everything. But then you got the deceit portion where it's like, we just won't tell you. And if we don't tell you, technically we didn't lie to you. I'm a little salty about this because a lot of people were like, getting ready with their 1 terabyte Xbox Ones, thinking they're going to be able to record their shows and do all this other cool stuff. They didn't show anyone in that press conference hooking up a DVR. They didn't show that. All they're going to let you know is that you can do it, but you got to spend more money to do it. So it's free to do it, but not really. Lies and deceit. So I'm a little salty about this, and I figured I'd just put that news out there for everyone that's all fanboying, going, oh, check out what Microsoft just did. Well, check out what they didn't say, too. Just putting it out there. You might want to check it out. Well, that's all the news I got for you guys today. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Facebook so you know as soon as my news becomes available. Thank you guys for watching, and I will holler at y'all later. Thank you guys for watching my whole entire episode. I really do appreciate it. Hit that like and subscribe button, and after that, go to my StonefoxMedia store. Get cool things like shirts, iPhone cases, you name it. Even got mugs. There's nothing in them.